All right, so for graphing any of these, what we're going to do is we're going to put it in the calculator. We're going to put the table. All right, we're going to drag and drop the table into here. We'll plot some points, and then we'll list this stuff. All right, domain and range was a review from much earlier in the year. Asymptotes we've talked about, and we'll look at them right on the graph. And then the y-intercept's the point it crosses the y-axis. So I take my calculator. I go to the y equals menu. I clear out whatever's in there. This wants me to graph 3 to the x, so 3 to the x. I don't care what the graph actually looks like. I'm just going to drag and drop my table over here. I will put it over here to the side, make it a little bit bigger. And then I have to plot some points. All right, so 0, 1, I've got my thicker pen. 0, 1, 1, 1, 2, 3. And then 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And remember that all exponential functions have an asymptote, and they curve their way up. All right, if I look on my calculator, all right, I can look on my calculator. I can see that graph. I'm going to zoom standard here. Zoom 6 for zoom standard. There's my exponential. Okay, it looks like that. If I want to drag and drop that, I can drag and drop that in here so I can kind of compare the two. It doesn't really matter. All right, but I can do that also. So now let's talk about the other things it asks for. The y-intercept. Okay, well, that's right there at 0, 1. The y-intercept is going to be 0, 1 quite often. Not all the time, but it's going to be 0, 1 quite often. The domain, all right, the domain are all the x values that are possible. If we looked at the graph here, as we go in this direction, all right, the keeps going. Domain is fine. I can hit all the x values that way. I can hit all the x values that way. So the domain is all numbers. All right, all real numbers technically, but all numbers, all right, is the domain. The range, that's the y values. All right, well, it never gets to 0. All right, it never gets to y equals 0, but it does go all the way up here forever. So my domain is any y value greater than 0. Okay, now remember, we did these earlier in the year. This would be negative infinity to infinity because it's everything. And then this one here would be 0 to infinity. All right, and it gets a parenthesis because it never actually gets to 0. All right, most important thing is that you can draw a picture of this. All right, I should label my y and x-axis. I should label this as y equals 3 to the x. All right, but I'm just taking a look down to here and trying to draw some decent pictures of these.